House lawmakers grilling the FBI director, Christopher Wray, on Capitol Hill about new information regarding the Trump-hating FBI agent Peter Strzok after Strzok was fired from Robert Mueller's investigation. Why? For bashing Trump in text messages to his FBI official girlfriend, also part of the team. Now, before we show you the video, remember, Strzok signed the document that started the entire Russian investigation, and Strzok's team was assigned to handle the dossier when it was first given to the FBI. And Strzok oversaw the interview of former National Security Advisor Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, and he played a key role in the Clinton email investigation. This guy never slept, including, by the way, attending Hillary's FBI interview that was not under oath. He was also there at the interviews of Clinton's top aides, Huma Abedin, Cheryl Mills, who we know lied. And Strzok is responsible for changing the key language in James Comey's statement that exonerated Hillary Clinton before the investigation from grossly negligent, which is the legal standard, to extremely careless. Now that you have all this information, take a look at this showdown. It's epic from today.
What we've learned about FBI agent Strzok is that this is the one FBI agent that is literally at the epicenter of virtually every major decision the FBI has been involved in, action and inaction, about candidate Trump, about President Trump, and about candidate Clinton. And if that one agent at the center or source is decidedly anti-Trump and decidedly pro-Clinton, that raises real questions.
I'm sure you're aware of the recent media reports indicating that Peter Strzok, who is a special agent at the FBI, changed the words grossly negligent to extremely careless in former Director Comey's statement closing the Clinton investigation.
Gross negligence is the language in the statute, I believe. But I believe also that almost anybody who grabbed a thesaurus would say that gross negligence and extremely careless are pretty darn close to each other.
You're right, they are synonyms. Extremely careless is a synonym for grossly negligent, which begs the question, why change it?
How did this guy get on your supposedly unbiased team in the first place?
If you watched today, you saw something that we have been telling you now for a long time, that other networks that say they're fair and balanced and objective and they consider themselves to be real journalists never talk about. Pretty amazing. Now, Peter Strzok, that's the Trump-hating, Clinton-loving FBI agent. He's tied to everything, including the fake news dossier. Watch very closely, an amazing moment, Congressman Jim Jordan connecting all of the dots, kind of like we've been doing on this show. Why? Because it's the truth. Something missing in today's world of so-called journalism, which I said was dead back in 2008. Take a look.
Peter Strzok, the guy who ran the Clinton investigation, interviewed Mills, Abedin, interviewed Secretary Clinton, changed gross negligence a crime to the term extreme carelessness, who ran the Russian investigation, who interviewed Mike Flynn, gets put on Mueller's team, and then he gets kicked off for a text message that's anti-Trump. If you kicked everybody off Mueller's team who was anti-Trump, I don't think there'd be anybody left. So there's got to be something more here. My hunch is it has something to do with the dossier. Director, did Peter Strzok help produce and present the application to the FISA court to secure a warrant to spy on Americans associated with the Trump campaign?
Congressman, I'm not prepared to discuss anything about a FISA process in this setting.
Did Peter Strzok, was he involved in taking that to the court?
I'm not going to discuss in this setting anything to do with the FISA court applications.
It's been reported that this dossier was all dressed up by the FBI, taken to the FISA court, and presented as a legitimate intelligence document, that it became the basis for granting a warrant to spy on Americans. And I'm wondering if that actually took place. It sure looks like it did.
Now, what Congressman Jordan is talking about, and what we have now been getting at for months, is this is critical to the entire so-called Russian investigation. You got everybody in the liberal, mainstream, destroy Trump media trying to make this all about non-existent Trump-Russia collusion. It's been a year, no evidence, but they've all been missing the point and, frankly, deliberately misleading and lying to you, the American people. They're lazy and they're overpaid. It's pathetic. The big story in all of this is the growing possibility, yes, it's emerging, that the FBI used the Clinton bought and paid for Russian dossier to obtain a FISA warrant to spy on American citizens that were connected to candidate and then President-elect Trump. Now, that would be weaponizing the very powerful tools and using them against an opposition party in an election year. Now, let's be clear here. It's not a smoking gun quite yet, but it's coming. But that's all where the signs now are pointing to. We'll follow this every single step of the way. We're ahead of the curve. Please stay with us. And one more very important point. Can anyone explain to me, anybody at all, how Robert Mueller's investigation can be described as fair, impartial, not biased? Let's imagine for just a second it's you, it's your family member, or somebody that you love and care about, your friends. Would you really want Robert Mueller and his team of partisan political hacks investigating you? Would you want a group of people that donated over $50,000 to the Democrats and filled with unethical officials and attorneys coming after you that hate one candidate, love the other candidate? Would you really trust them to be fair? Do you think this is how the justice system is supposed to work? Because I don't think so.